welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to come to you with this little disclaimer. Everything that I talk about in this video is based on my experience alone and my relationship alone. I am not an advice expert. I am not a relationship expert. I was asked a question by a young lady and I'm just giving her my opinion and how things work for me. So don't take anything as me being an expert. It's just my opinion and based on my relationship alone. But anyway, guys, stay tuned for the video. I had a young lady that hit me up and asked me about my relationship with my husband. And I, told her everybody's relationship is not the same. So what works for one is not going to work for others. The main thing that people need to know about relationships is there has to be an open line of communication. Without that open line of communication, you're going to have problems. The things that can make or break a relationship is communication, finances, and sex. Yes, sex. Sex is one of the most important things in a relationship. If you're not satisfying your partner, then they may go elsewhere for it. So it's best to communicate with your partner and let them know how you feel about certain things. But the first thing is to be honest, open and honest about your relationship and everything that's going on. If you have a problem, you need to sit down and talk about it. You may not want to talk about it, but you need to talk about it. Everything will work out for the best, but don't let things build up to the point where everybody is at their boiling point and they're going to get to the point where everything is going to hit the fan at one time. So with me and my husband, we talk to each other about everything. We don't lie in our relationship. Even if we feel that it's going to hurt the other person, we still tell the truth about it. So if I have a problem or I have a question that I really want to know, I'll go to him and I'll ask him about it and he will do the same to me. So that's one thing that keeps our relationship going. Another thing is we date one another. We make it a point that we date one another. Even though we are married, we still set up times where we go out on dates, and we set times where we just enjoy each other's company. I don't care if it's going to the park, going out to eat, going to a movie, or just going on a road trip somewhere. It doesn't necessarily have to involve money. Just remember to date each other. Another thing is financing. Communicate about your financing. Set aside a budget of what you can spend for the week and what you need to put away for the week. Make sure the bills are paid. Me and my husband share a checking account and a savings account, and we always communicate with each other. I give him a allowance for lunch every week. Now, he can spend other money, but for his lunch, I give him his lunch money. So that way, it's not a big deal if he goes out and eats lunch because I know he has the money for it. Otherwise, he'd be swiping the card and not knowing what's in the bank. He doesn't touch any of the finances. I let him know what the finances are, and he knows what money is going in and out the house. So don't get me wrong, I'm not keeping anything from him because he does know this. But we've made an agreement, and it's just always been like that, where I pay all the bills and I make sure everything is taken care of. Anything that needs to be done, I take care of it, and he takes care of other things, around the house and stuff. So it's not a big deal for, if he needs something or he wants something, he'll be like, babe, do we have enough money to go do this, or do we have enough money to go do that? And I'll tell him, yeah, go ahead and, get what you want. Or I'll go out and if I see something for him that I think he'd like, I pick it up. But it's not that I keep money away from him or anything like that. It's just, it works for us. And it's been a good plan for us. But he does, appreciate the way that our bills are taken care of. As far as our relationship, sexual wise, hell, everybody does it, and my kids don't like for me to talk about it, so they're probably looking at this video saying, I can't believe she said that, or I can't believe she's talking about that. But sex is a big part of the relationship. Sex is not a chore to us. It's one of the things that we enjoy about each other, where some people feel that it's a chore and others feel like they're being neglected. That is another open line of communication that we we talk about. If he feels that the sex is slacking off, or if I feel like the sex is slacking off, then we communicate about it and we get it, straight. We always make sure that we're attending to each other's needs. So that is another key factor in a relationship, because if you're not communicating and you're not taking care of your spouse's needs, you can believe that your spouse is out looking somewhere else. He may not be openly active, but it could be emotional, it can be mental, it can be physical, it can be any of those aspects. But you can bet that if you're not taking care of his needs, there's somebody else out there that is going to take care of him for him, and he's going to start giving attention to that person. Whether he is physically involved with that person is giving him the attention that he needs, vice versa for a woman. So as long as you are communicating and you have made an understanding and an agreement that you will communicate about each and every area of your relationship, then you should be fine. Don't ever go to bed angry. Don't ever leave the house angry. I don't care if it's something that I may be upset with him about and we just haven't had a chance to talk to it. I never go to bed without kissing him goodnight. I never go to work without kissing him. Never go without telling him I love him, because you never know when the last time you may see that person. Tomorrow's not promised to you guys. So make sure that you put in an effort to make your relationship work. It's all about what you put into it and what you get out of it. Relationships is not about what he can do for you. Relationships are 50-50. Both of you have to put in the equal amount to make your relationship work. So if you're having problems, sit down and talk about it and see what's going on and see how you can work it out. Sometimes the best thing is to agree to disagree. That doesn't mean argue. You don't walk around your house not talking to one another. You don't walk around your house angry. You don't walk around your house disrespecting one another. You agree to disagree, but you compromise. You have to figure out how to compromise in a relationship to make things happen. And if you don't do that, your relationship is going to fall apart. Do not take what is going on in your relationship and go to your friends or your family about what's going on in your relationship. That is your relationship and that is your personal business. So that's something that has to be worked out between you and your spouse. Not everybody on Facebook or on your Snapchat or, throughout your family, because the more negative you feed to your family about your spouse, the more that family member or that friend dislikes that spouse. Even if that spouse is the best spouse, you've already gave them something to dislike him about. So of course they're going to run and they're going to think he is the worst person on this earth. So if you're having problems in your relationship, then you need to work it out within your relationship. If me and my husband are having problems, no one would ever know that we were having problems, for the simple fact that it's me and his business and no one else's. No one pays the bills in this house but us. No one takes care of each other but us. So we learn to communicate and come up with an understanding. And granted, we don't argue. That's one thing that we don't do. If we have a problem, we sit down and talk about it. We agree to disagree. We come up with some kind of compromise. And that's it. But we do not argue. We do not walk around the house angry, and we do not go to bed angry. So you have to find that common ground in your relationship and understand how important it is to communicate and understand one another's needs and what you are failing at or what this person may be failing at. Because everything is not going to be peaches and cream. Marriage takes work. And it is a lot of work, and it's a lot of hard work. It's not going to come overnight, and it may not come for a couple of years, but you keep at it. If it's something that you truly love and you truly care about and you want, you work with it. So understand that in your marriage, you have to work for what you want. But guys, that's all I wanted to talk about. And I hope this helped the young lady out there that asked the question about the relationship. Because I know, I'm not going to put her name out there or anything. But she, didn't mind if I told some of her story. And the problem is that she feels that she's being mistreated and that her marriage is going to fall apart. And the reason being is because they're not communicating and she doesn't understand what he wants. And the reason why she does not understand what he wants is because she's not asking him what she wants. She's not going to him and telling him what she needs or what she wants. So if you're not going to communicate, it's not going to work. If you're not going to work together, it's not going to work. Sit down and put yourself on a budget, because that's another problem that she's having. Sit down and put yourself on a budget. You can't just go balling out and spending all types of money that is not there to spend. So I understand that he is upset because you're going out, you're spending money, you're hiding stuff in your trunk, and you're hiding, things like this. I used to do that, but I'd make sure all my bills was paid and we had our money put aside before I would buy things. And the only reason I would hide them is because, yes, I have a shopping problem. He knows I have a shopping problem. So I would put it aside and I'd, bring it out later and say, oh, I had that. I just, I've been having that for a while. He knows what's in my closet. So he knows it wasn't, true. So, those little white lies like that, he knew that I knew that he knew. So it was not a big deal. But, it's still, something that I had to come to terms with and I had to stop doing, because of the simple fact that it wasn't good for our relationship. I had things that I did not need. It was unnecessary. I'm buying things just because they were on sale and I didn't need them. But I always made sure that the bills were paid, and I always made sure that we had money put aside for a rainy day. So, young lady, I'm just giving you fair warning. If you want your marriage to work on your marriage. Find out what's going on, what he's upset with you about, and how you can fix it. Sit down and come up with a game plan. Put yourself on a budget and listen. Stop talking and listen. You cannot fix your relationship if you're not willing to listen to what he's saying. If every time he comes to you with something and you're arguing back with him without hearing what he's saying, you're creating more problems. So if you want this relationship to work, listen to what he has to say. Sit down and talk to him and understand what he has to say. And then sit down and come with a compromise. But I hope this helped you. And if you have any more questions, please send me an email to crayg36@gmail.com, or leave information in the description box below and I'll be happy to answer it. I hope everything works out for you and I wish you the best. But please listen. Stop and listen. Anyway, guys, that is all. I just wanted to sit down and answer this young lady's question, and I hope it helped, and maybe it may have helped someone else, because I know when I first got married, it probably could have helped me. But we've always, me and my husband, we started out as friends from the beginning. So we are each other's friends. And I'm not going to lie, me and my husband spend so much time together. We're with each other all the time. That's just how our relationship works. I mean, we just to the point where we love each other's company. When I get off work, I'm happy to come home to see him, and he's the same. And he was, telling me the other day how he has friends that don't even want to go home to their household, and he was explaining to him, I love going home to my household. Well, I do too. So that's because of the relationship we built together. So work on your relationship. Like I said, it's hard, but it can be done. Thank you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.